What's up, DC Nation? Welcome back to another video. Today we're checking out Legends of the Dark Knight, Chapter 1. This is Bad Night, Good Night, Part 1. And this issue is written and drawn by Derek Robertson. Now, I'm very hyped to get into this, guys, because this issue is actually pretty good. Now, it is a shorter issue because it's a DC digital series, so it's pretty much just half of the very first paperback issue, but still a lot to go over. The story gets going, and if you guys don't know who Derek Robertson is, he's actually the co-creator of The Boys comic book. So if you read that series, and that series is very crazy, then you know that type of writing style, so kinda expect that going into this comic book. But yeah, if you guys are ready, let's dive into this new Legends of the Dark Knight series. The bat signal shines bright in the sky. "I don't think he is coming tonight, boss," a police officer says. Sergeant Logan suddenly shows up with coffee. Commissioner Gordon thanks him and takes a cup. Gordon sips on his coffee and responds, 3 days we've been after this gas mask killer. No sign of the Batman. Tell me what you know, Sergeant." "Last time we saw Batman, we were answering a call from dock security out at the shipping docks. Shots were heard. The bat was already there when we arrived," the sergeant says. We shift to a flashback. Batman tells the sergeant and his officers to leave the docks. There's poisonous gas going around. Batman shoots his grappling gun and disappears into the night. What he's gathered from the crime scene is that there was a double cross, and now someone has a deadly vapor. Whoever this someone is likely to sell the lethal gas on the black market. Batman knows the gas could get into the hands of the Riddler, Mr. Freeze, Joker, Scarecrow, the Penguin, and many other villains. The longer the gas is out in the streets, the worse the situation for Gotham City gets. Batman's already gone 38 hours without sleep. Batman continues to search. He glides down into the streets of Gotham and interrogates criminals in order to find answers. Batman's search leads him to the Penguin. Batman waits in the shadows above, watching Penguin and his henchmen's moves. Penguin waits for a while, but eventually a man with a gas mask shows up with the gas. Batman pays attention. The masked killer tells Penguin to leave his umbrella on the ground. After some negotiation, Penguin puts away his weapons and starts asking questions. "Chemical warfare? I'm supposed to take your word for it? How do I know if what you have is any good?" Penguin says. The masked killer takes a can of the gas and sprays it on one of his henchmen. The big henchman falls to his knees. He bleeds, vomits, and eventually dies. The gas mask killer explains the science behind the gas as he demonstrates it killing his henchmen. "Charming. How much you got?" "Plenty more for a right buyer with right price. I have already distributed samples to some of your colleagues." Clown Man made a generous offer, the masked killer says. Suddenly, the can of gas is freezed by Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze steps up angry at Penguin. They were both supposed to negotiate with the gas masked villain, but Penguin began early. The gas masked villain gets away. He runs. Mr. Freeze kills all of Penguin's henchmen. Penguin runs away, but hits a dead end eventually. Mr. Freeze points his ice gun, saying, "Perhaps it's time you had a lesson in manners." "Easy now, Freeze," Penguin says. A grappling hook then comes out of nowhere, destroying Mr. Freeze's ice gun. Batman looks at Penguin and Mr. Freeze, saying, "Playtime's over." Mr. Freeze is shot. Penguin pulls out an umbrella and shoots at Batman, saying, "This night just keeps getting worse." "The night is still young," Batman says, punching Penguin with a knockout blow. Later, Commissioner Gordon shows up and gathers intel from Batman. "The dealer wears a gas mask. Russian accent. Slipped away while I was taking down Freeze and Penguin. From what I've heard, his next client is the Joker. Have your men start scouring the docks down Amusement Mile. I'll do what I can," Batman says, leaving. Commissioner Gordon calls in and tells Gotham CDC that there's an emergency. Fast forward later, and we see a SWAT team go into Amusement Mile. they flash their lights and see the Joker. "Oh, goody visitors! Here I was with all these toys and no one to play with, but now you're here. Let's have some fun," the Joker says before laughing maniacally. And that is chapter 1 of Legends of the Dark Knights. And guys, I actually really enjoyed this. Yes, it's a very simple story. This new gas mask killer that got this poisonous gas, and he pretty much has the one thing that can destroy Gotham, and he's selling it to Batman's biggest villains, like Penguin, Joker, Mr. Freeze, Scarecrow, the Riddler, others, other villains in Batman's Rogues Gallery. But Batman's trying to stop this. And in the beginning, we see it's kind of in the future. Like, Commissioner Gordon's like, the Batman's not here. And he explains the story as it goes forward, right? He explains how Batman found out about the gas. Then he showed up and took down Penguin and Mr. Freeze. And found out that the gas mask killer, well, he wears a gas mask. And he has a Russian accent. So we see this story continue to unfold. And though the cliffhanger is a little predictable, like, okay, Joker's here. Which for every Batman fan, it's like, oh, the Joker's here, let's go. But for me, I'm like, alright, that's cool. But we've been getting so much Joker lately that I'm like, alright, the Joker's back again. But it's still a cool ending where he has all these different toys and he's just gonna be taking, like, probably killing these squad members. That's all that's gonna happen. But I wonder how this story is gonna continue. It's probably gonna continue at a fast pace as this issue was. Like, this issue was very fast paced. A lot of stuff happened in these short 20 pages. And actually, this isn't a regular 20-page comic. It's actually shorter because it's digital. This is just a DC digital series. But yeah, so far I like it. The writing's solid, and the artwork fits the tone really good. And there's some really awesome images, especially the one where Batman is just like in the nights, and you see all the different villains behind him in like the gas. You see Joker, you see Riddler, Penguin, and more. And I thought that was really cool. But yeah, I'm gonna give this issue an 8 out of 10. I recommend it, guys. If you want more Batman to read, like if you've been reading so much Batman, but you still want more, then check it out. If you like the video, give a big thumbs up, new channel, make sure to subscribe and the notification bell so you don't miss out on my next Legends of the Dark Knights video. And yeah, thanks for watching, and peace out.